what time is it? Sorry, give me just a second. I can't even
April
get,
15th.
I got too many things pulled up. Emergency meeting, April 15th. Let me get to the right thing here. Sorry. You can tell where my head's at. All right, there we go. Sorry. I got my iPad here, but I can't get everything pulled up. Hang on just a second.
I'm gonna go check everything.
All right, sorry about that, guys. So I'm gonna be, doing a state of South Carolina, County of Oconee emergency disaster declaration and ordinance. April 15th, 2020, whereas a violent storm system passed through Oconee County during the evening of April 12th, 2020, and into the early morning hours of April 13th, 2020. Whereas the storm system was extraordinarily violent and produced an EF3 rated tornado resulting in loss of life and catastrophic property damage. Whereas the Oconee County Council deems that extraordinary emergency measures are necessary to cope with the resulting disaster, therefore consistent with its powers pursuant to SD Code 4-9-25. Among other authorities, the Oconee County Council declares the state of emergency disaster this 15th day of April, effective at 10:05 a.m. Further, County Council authorizes the county administrator on advice of the emergency service director and the county attorney and the consultation with the chairman of county council to take necessary and appropriate emergency actions in response to the conditions described above, including the following. 1, suspending existing laws and regulations prescribing the procedures for conduct of county business to strict compliance with the provisions of any statute, order, rule, or regulation would in any way prevent, hinder, or delay necessary action in coping with an emergency. 2, utilizing all available resources of county government as reasonably necessary to cope with an emergency. 3, transferring the direction, personnel, or functions of county departments, agency, or units thereof for the purpose of facilitating or performing emergency services as necessary and desirable. 4, contracting, requisitioning, and compensating for goods and services from private sources. 5, warning and advising for evacuations of all or parts of the population from any strict threatened area within the county, if such action is deemed necessary for the preservation of life, other disaster mitigation or response or recovery. 6, prescribing routes, modes of transportation, and destinations in connection with evacuations. 7, controlling ingress and egress to and from a disaster area, the movement of persons within that area, and the occupancy of premises threatened. 8, making a provision for the availability and use of temporary housing. 9, suspending or limiting non-emergency activities and prohibiting public assemblies, including the imposition of a curfew. The county administrator shall receive the approval of the majority of council in effecting action related to the foregoing when deemed necessary by law or when circumstances permit. During the period of effectiveness of this emergency ordinance, any ordinance, resolution, policy, or rule of the council that conflicts with the provisions hereof is suspended and shall be superseded hereby. The provision hereof shall be effective upon a single hearing and 2/3 vote of council and shall expire within the 61st day following the effective date hereof. Done as an emergency ordinance and approved at the emergency meeting duly assembled by no less than affirmative vote of 2/3 of members of council on this 15th day of April 2020. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All right, and gentlemen, as we do the vote, I'm sorry, if I could, Mr. Chairman, real quick. As we do the vote and as we do the motions, you'll need to do it in roll call style. So Paul Kane, I move, and then whoever did the second, make your name known. Since we do have folks streaming, but a lot of it is just on the radio, on the phone line call in. So we'll need to practice that also for the 21st meeting. And as long as we have the pandemic going on and we're meeting remotely. So I know Mr. Kane made a first, I believe. And then was it Mr.
That's correct, David. This is Paul Kane. I made a motion.
I didn't hear who made the second. Did you?
I guess I
John
did.
Elliott made the second.
All right, I think we got 30 seconds from everybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, just Mr.
Okay,
Elliott made a
everybody,
second.
Julian, yes.
John Elliott, yes.
Paul Kane, yes.
Wayne, yes.
Glenn Hart, yes.
Okay.
The emergency ordinance passes by unanimous vote 5-0. So the only other order of business on the agenda is to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. McCall, seconded by Mr. Hart.
Julian Davis, yes.
John Elliott, yes.
Paul Kane, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Hart, yes, and Mr. McCall.
Oh, yes.
Nod, yes.
I made the motion to start with.
You still can vote against your motion. But we have unanimous adjourn too. Thank you all.
What?